So a short while after I started vaping, and I started off with Ego Cs, you know, the small batteries with a clearomizer on top of it. And a fine setup it is too. And the other thing is that in the years since I've started, you know, the quality of the actual products and everything has gotten better and better. But what I ended up doing was turning to the internet, as most people do, to try and find out what other alternatives were out there. You know, because as ever, you have something. Some people will stick with those forever, and that's perfect. But if you're kind of like me and, you know, you're always trying to see, I mean, like, a new iPhone comes out and I just end up going into meltdown because I have to have the new iPhone, you know, even if it's not that much better, but that's just part of my makeup. And there's a lot of people like that. So where did I go to start looking to see what I could find out about vaping, you know? And so the place where I sort of settled, and there's many places, most countries, they've got boards, they've got Facebook groups. And for me, my home, I suppose, is Facebook. In Ireland, where I live, there are a couple of Facebook pages, vaping Facebook pages. And they are basically populated by people like me. People who are just trying to find out more information, as I was at the beginning, you know, asking people if there was alternatives. These are places where people who are just asking questions for the first time go to. You know, they haven't started vaping, but they're just wondering what it's all about. And it tends to be that within communities, you know, certainly in Ireland, it would be the same in the UK, same in every country. I mean, I was just over in Germany there recently at a big vape fest, and I was chatting to some of the people there, some of the other reviewers and various different people. And we were chatting about the whole community aspect of things. And they are the same there as we are here, as I'm sure every country has got a vaping community. The vaping community is basically comprised of people who have been in the same situation as you, either still are or were in the past, and basically they are so thrilled with the fact that they are now vaping rather than doing the other thing, that the enthusiasm is just infectious. It really is. The generosity that you see as well, the giving of time, the giving of information, the spending long times, writing out detailed posts for people as to what they suggest that this person could do based on whatever question it was that they asked. You also see it regularly. Somebody ends up stuck because they might be short of money or whatever, and one of their batteries has broken. Straight away you get people on saying, I have a spare battery, PM me your address and I'll send it down to you. No question of charging for it. No question of, you know, will they send it back to me when they're finished? It's all based on trust. And I haven't heard a single situation within these sort of community groups where people have taken advantage of that. So really, it's a terrific starting place. So if you are thinking of vaping, you want to find out something about it, or you've just, you know, started off on a very, very basic unit, you know, like one of those sort of cigarette-looking yokes that you get in garages and shops, and you're thinking of maybe stepping up from that to something a little bit better, then certainly Facebook groups, I know that they'll have them in your country. Go looking for those and see what the bigger ones are. Also some of the boards that are out there. There's lots of boards on vaping. Now some of these boards would be real, you know, the high-end ones. They're closed groups. They're difficult to get into. What's going on in there is, you know, this is real high-end stuff and stuff that, you know, most people really wouldn't be interested in. But there are many other groups there which are just there for people who are starting or need a bit of support, who are looking for a little bit of help or whatever it happens to be. So I'm not going to list what these are because every country is going to be different, but it's just really to say the vaping community is a community unlike any I have seen before. It is totally non-judgmental. It is totally sort of built on the enthusiasm of the good that comes from the good that people now feel as a consequence of vaping. So that's all I'm going to say about community. And really, it is something that I think most people who are stepping into vaping or have just started in vaping should actually become part of, because you will gain a huge amount from it, not only in terms of the knowledge that you'll have, but also, you know, the social interaction with people. Vape Fest in Ireland, the second one, is actually coming up on the 16th of November, so just in a few days' time, and that's actually going to be my my first anniversary, as I mentioned. One of the funny things about community is, and as I said, I've never come across an online community like the vaping community is that when I actually go down there, I'm going to know many of them, but I've met virtually none of them. So we'll be going down there, we all sort of chat on a daily basis online, and this is going to be the first time that we actually meet up in real life, which is kind of going to be really weird, but should be good fun anyway.